And welcome to another one of ADemonicReview and Trophy Review. As you can see, this is on the Fallout 4. I finally platinumed this game after the first Fallout game, so I wanted to take it slow, really explore the world and, mess around. I was set back because I want to say I got like 10 or 12 hours through and I didn't like my characters or the perks, so I had to restart. And I totally don't regret it because my character ended out great. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and move on to review. Of course, I am your host, A Demonic Wizard on Twitch, A Demonic Shadow for literally everything else. So let's go ahead and get on with the review. Now, graphically, this game, yes, there is a bit of a downgrade. Yes, it's not all that better as the previous Fallout 3. Of course, they're obviously better in some cases, but it wasn't, it's not the best looking game. This game, isn't game of the year, or not game of the year. This isn't graphics game of the year, the most graphical game. You're not going to be able to see their fingers and everything like that move individually, but they did put interesting details into the characters and the artwork and the world itself. Once again, it's not the best, but that's not where you're playing Fallout. You're playing Fallout for the story, the gameplay, missions, exploring, and of course it's glitches. So once again, this is Fallout. The story of the game, honestly, at least for me, it was quite disappointing for the main story of, spoiler alert, is that you are looking for your son. Your son gets kidnapped when you're in the vault, when you go into the future after the bomb drops. While that's happening, your son is kidnapped, your husband or wife is killed, and you're actually out to go see your son. Honestly, however long that takes, whether it's 5 hours or 500 hours, it's really up to you, as this world of the game is vastly huge, and there's huge content, there's huge settlements you need to survive, it's huge settlements you need to save, there's companions you need to find, there's quests you need to complete, there's settlements you need to save, people to talk to, settlements you need to save, things you need to loot, settlements you need to save, chests you need to find, settlements you need to save, bobbleheads you need to find, weapons you need to find, enemies you need to kill, settlements you need to save, and it could be quite some time, and before you can actually do that. So of course, this is a new game, and this is pretty much what happens when you first get out. Is you're just exploring and finding out what's going on here. But the story itself, getting back to that, the story itself, at least to me, was wasn't very interesting. It's pretty much just father or son, father or mother looking for their kid, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing any spectacular about it. When you actually find your son, it is kind of a twist, but at least it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh my god. It was kind of just, whatever. Here's your son. Okay. Moving on. But once again, at least for me, when I'm playing Fallout, or when I was playing Fallout, yeah, I was looking for the story, but I was mainly, world, shooting people, crafting, etc., etc., etc. So once again, story, I mean, it could be worse, it could be better. It's not too bad where it's lower than average, but it doesn't do anything, to bump it up and give it above average of that 5. So story is 5, graphics, I don't know. Graphics itself, whatever, 5, I give it a rating, whatever. Gameplay, once again, this is for me. I can't really compare this to any of the other Fallout games and how they worked for me. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Get my baby back.
I didn't have any problems with the controls or the gameplay itself. Vaults was easy to use. Aiming itself is easy to use. The RPG elements of the game when you're leveling up, your perks, you know, they made sense. I know what they did. Other than hacking robots, I didn't know what that did. But once again, this was my first Fallout.
200 years.
But the gameplay itself, for me, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it's pretty smooth. Yeah, I wish there were not necessarily a tutorial, but maybe during load screens, give tips. I don't know. Like, I hate games where it's like, here's a, I don't know. The game could have, I guess the game could have did a lot better of telling you how to play the game, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know how to do just because I was never really told. Like, once again, my first time playing Fallout, I didn't know how to use vaults. I was level 20 when I figured out how to use vaults. I'm sure few of you guys are face palming, but once again, I didn't know how to play the game. So, at least for me, I enjoyed it. There wasn't anything I didn't like about it. Kind of wish I could level up faster or more, because there's a lot of perks I want to mess with and try. But once again, that because of that makes you explore doing another playthrough with a different character with different upgrades and everything like that. Moving on to Nestle Online, for Nestle story gameplay, graphics online, and others. There is no online, none whatsoever, no leaderboards or anything like that, which I wasn't expecting anything, so it's whatever. It's a vastly huge world, and literally after this mission, you're able to necessarily explore the world and do whatever you want. Like, you can do the story mission and do it in, like, you know, a few hours, or you can spend 500 hours doing everything else. So not normally how I rate games is, you know, gameplay, story, others, gameplay, story, online, and graphics. Is that usually how the basics of the review for games normally, at least how I do it. Though I do leave a category for others, miscellaneous, you know, etc. things. And for Fallout 4, it's others and miscellaneous thing is what necessarily makes it such a great game. Is that, for one, you do have this crafting system where you can go to these workshops. You can do these workshops and you actually start crafting. You can dismantle everything in the settlement. Well, not necessarily everything, but you can dismantle majority of it for scraps and certain stuff, to which you can then use to build your own base, your own defenses, among other things. You necessarily can't just go to anyone and just start doing it. The settlement area, they have to like you, or you have to complete a mission for them or whatever, and then once you do that, they will allow you, I guess because you have to be allies, so they pretty much give you permission to build bases and help them out. And this is something you don't really have to do, which is one thing I do like about Fallout. Like, if you don't want to build a base, you don't have to build a base. You just have to do it for the main mission, and outside that, you never have to really build a base. It does help to do so. There's quite a lot of things you can do with it. And that's one of the things I like about Fallout. And I'll go ahead and load my character, or at least one of them, because once again, it takes a while to platinum the game. So give me one moment while I find one of them. So once again, you can, you know, build quite, I wouldn't say necessarily anything that comes to mind, but, you know, pretty much anything that you can necessarily think of when it comes to building, the way the crafting set up, that you can, you know, build a castle in the sky if you necessarily wanted to. And that's one of the main additions they gave to the game, is that with crafting, is that they explored is that anything you touch, anything you grab, anything you pick up can be scrapped and used for making your base, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your armor, upgrading your your melee weapons and everything like that, crafting. And that makes it pretty much picking up anything has some type of element to it. Steel, copper, acids, I know is one, and then that allows you to do that, and that helps you build your base, build your settlement, build your world. One of the other things that you can do in the game is that you can actually craft your own armor. You can take a piece of armor, customize it, and craft it, change it, make it way less, make it to where easier to hide in the shadows at night, make it to where your armor is more resistant to energy, make it more resistant to attack, make it more lightweight, things like that. For your guns themselves, you can add a scope, change the scope to like 5 different other scopes. You can increase the attack. If you have a laser weapon, you can make the laser splits if you want. You can make the laser do so many things when it comes to crafting itself. And it's for all weapons. All weapons have their own, their barrel, their grip, their sights, their muzzle. And then you can also name them just so you don't get lost in them. But you can, once again, customize how it is. And it also changes the way the gun looks when you're adding a bayonetta to it. It actually adds, a knife at the end of your weapon. If you add a scope on it, it's going to change it to the scope or the red dot sight. Maybe the iron sights if you prefer using that. That's, it changes the way the gun actually looks and how it actually works, changes its accuracy, rate of fire, and range. And that's something that was truly impressive that they did to Fallout. Same thing once again with your armor. They made it to where you can craft and you can necessarily craft drugs, you can cook, and all the body parts, all the enemy parts that you get from the game, you can change, not necessarily change, you could cook, and then you can increase gradients to get better resulting items. You can customize your power armor. Like the things you can customize in this game is amazing. You can, in your settlements, you can if you have it leveled up, you can link settlements, so that way you bring all your supplies to other settlements, so you don't actually have a bunch of supplies and have to transfer them over and everything like that. You can customize your characters, you can customize your companion. One of the things I did is I gave people in my settlements the 114 outfits and tuxedos, and this is one of the things that you can do in the game that helps you kind of play it the way you want to. That's one of the things I liked about the game. Once again, you explore the Vastly world. Like there's tons of places to go. Even though I'm still not even done. I don't even want to say I'm 80% done with finding settlements. Maybe 70%. There's tons of places I've yet to see here. That's ground. That's underground. Underground, and I believe underground's it. Going in only some buildings have an actual entry. Outside these actual places here, I'm talking about like a little random dungeon and everything like that you may explore. But these are all places that have interiors and their own building inside that you can explore, loot, and get killed or kill everyone there. They have the perk system, that you can spend hours just thinking about what you want for your character, and making reading on what works best. It allows you to see what the end tier of the game is, end tier of your ability is. So one of the things I have, because I was a sniper, and sneak at the last ability you get when you get it maxed out. When you engage stealth, it causes distant enemies to just lose you, and as being a sniper, you're already at distant enemies, so you shoot them from crouch state. When you're in stealth, you just shoot them, and by the time you're ready to reload and shoot again, you're probably already re-entered stealth and they don't even know you're there. So this is the reason why I personally wanted to play Fallout. I always wanted to, but I never did. And then when I actually did have time for it, I found out Fallout 4 is coming in. I was like, I can wait, because they're both, games that you can play forever. I got this game at release, and I recently, got the platinum for it. I want to say a week, 1 to 2 weeks ago. So this is something that is going to take quite a while. And this is something I really enjoyed about Fallout, especially all the subquest companions. At least half the companions, at least to me, were interesting enough to keep around and get them their max level and everything like that, so I can get a perk. from them that helps better me, helps better increase my chances of surviving, because you can still die. And of course, if the game's too easy or too hard, you can always just raise up the difficulty. But overall, game definitely, it's definitely on a lot of people's game of the year list. It's definitely a worthy game playing. From my perspective, once again, first time playing a Fallout game. There's people out there that said the previous ones do the RPG element more, and it's different tastes for different people, and not everyone likes every cup of tea, or not your cup of tea, or however you want to say it. I thought it was fine. I thought it's definitely worth trying if you ever wanted to get into a Fallout game. This one would be perfect, because they did make it more easier and casual with how much you can do and on what you can't do. Not necessarily what you can't do on. You don't have to do any of this to beat the game. You don't have to customize your arm. You don't have to customize your weapon. It would make the game a lot easier and a lot more fun, in my opinion, if you did. But you necessarily don't have to do most of the stuff. You can, once again, just play and beat the mission. You don't have to explore anything. You don't have to save no settlements. Go directly and find your kid. I definitely recommend the game. So that's why, for my final part of should you buy the game, yes, when you should buy the game, I personally think you should just buy it as soon as possible. It's a great game. You can definitely explore it with your explore the world while you and your friends are doing the same, finding certain weapons, certain legendary items, bobbleheads. Sharing your stories of how this happened, how that happened, and all that jazz. But overall, it's Fallout. We all knew what we're getting. It's an amazing series that I definitely will be looking forward to the next one, if there is none. If not, I will definitely be playing the previous. But that more or less was my review on Fallout 4. We're gonna necessarily be moving on to the trophy part of Fallout 4 and the trophies for the game, which are they're pretty easy overall. Nothing too difficult. It's pretty much just do a bunch of quests. So war never changes into the Wasteland. You get that when you initially first enter the Wasteland, after you get out the vault. You have when freedom comes. That's going to be necessarily released through story missions. These right here, the first few are just story missions. You have also missions for your companions that you can do when you get them to like you. So unlock Valentine. Once again, all these are story missions, or just quests you do here, which I believe these are all story missions. When you get to the end, there are the Institution, the Minutemen, which they're technically a faction, but I guess they don't really matter much at the end. So you'll complete their faction trophies pretty much early on. But the Institution, Brotherhood of Steel, and the Railroad, those are the ones that you need to complete their faction to get the trophy. And if you complete the faction on one of them, that's going to make you enemies with the rest of them, because they pretty much just start out in all-out war and wipe out the rest. So that's one of the ones you're going to make a save state at certain parts, so you can go ahead and finish those and get the nuclear option for the Institution and everything like that. And that's just completing Institution option. There's once again the Minuteman, which very easy, and you don't have to really worry about that one. That you're not gonna. I mean, you'd still missable by making them enemies, but it's one of the ones you will do rather quickly if you're just helping everyone out. The Brotherhood of Steel, once again, is another one for their trophies. During the Railroad, which you have to do certain quests to get into the store until you can actually unlock it. And then there's just necessarily the random trophies and the collectibles, which you'll naturally, at least for me, I naturally did a lot of these. Complete Sanctuary, that's once again just working with Mr. Save Another Settlement, ally with 3 settlements, just save 3 settlements and have them become friends. This one is glitched, I want to say, or broken. It's annoying. It's my least favorite trophy for Fallout 4. You have to reach max happiness in a large settlement. The trick that I did after trying to legit make these people happy, 6 or 7 people, Rocket Town, build 6 clinics, and well, if there's 6 people, 1 person's on food with 6 more fruit, that gives them, the 6 food. You bring 5 people over to have them all work in store clinics. I put you build just a bunch until your max item, not your max inventory, but you build until your size of it is large and the size bar turns yellow. You give them beds, preferably in recommended indoors, so that way increases their happiness. I will also put my bed in there and I sleep with them. When I do, that also helps. And after that, if you have the food, your food, for everyone, you have your beds for everyone, 1 extra for you because you do count. You got the water and the clinics. You can honestly just leave your system on and you'll get the trophy eventually. It takes forever to rank up. What you can also do is just sleep constantly every time it goes up for 24 hours. Waiting a little bit and just chilling inside a settlement, because it's highly recommended not to leave when you're going after this trophy, because there's a glitch to go down for some reason, even though everyone should be completely happy. But you simply just chill. If you're not willing to wait or can't leave your system on, you pretty much once you're done building everything, sleep for 24 hours, wait, it's gonna jump up, save as soon as it does for 24 hours, wait, it's gonna go up, and just rinse and repeat until you get the trophy. It's very annoying, and it's whatever. Complete 10 side quests, not very hard. Complete 10 Melissa's random objectives. This one I actually did have to grind for. Before you actually become enemies with the Brotherhood of Steel, you can have them send a bird to come pick you up, which you can see here. Well, you can't actually see it, but the Vetabird, what you can do is that you can get a little summoning to summon it. So what you do is you go to a place, you summon it, you get on it. As soon as you get on it, get off of it, fast travel quite a few distance. I would travel from here to, I think I fast traveled, not necessarily Diamond City, I didn't go that far, but somewhere, another town that you have, actually I remember now. I traveled from the Sanctuary to Starlight Diner Inn, and just once you get the Starlight Diner Inn, you summon the Vetabird, you get on, you get off, you fast travel to Sanctuary, rinse and repeat, because this Des town has an objective every time you get on and you complete it, so that counts for your trophy. Gather 10 resources for crafting, you should get that naturally. Pick 50 locks. As long as you're picking locks, you should get it naturally. Hacking, once again, crafting mods, if you're doing that, you get it eventually. Crafting 100 items, you get that eventually. Like, most of these are, once again, stuff you just naturally get if you're, at least not fully trying everything out, I guess I should say. Never go alone. Recruit 5 separate companions. There's 8 of them. So, if you're just, trying to be with them, or not actually trying to be with them, as long as you're looking for them, and you can always just look up to see where they are at. Lovable, reach maximum relationship. It's kind of tedious, not really, kind of. You just be with them. The only reason why it's tedious is that you can do things that makes them dislike you, depending on what they like. And then there's also things you can do to make them like you more. Fixer upper, build 100 work items, just build bases. You can play holotop games, just play one, you get this trophy, kill 5 giant creatures. I got that by mistake, so this is once again one you can just get by playing the game. Discover 100 locations, easy. Read magazines that help you get perks and everything. That's also 100% legit easy. There's 122, finding 20 of them easy. Place a grenade or mine while pickpocketing. Your second pick ability when you're pickpocketing is that you can place once again a mine or a grenade, and it's live in someone's pocket. Just get the upgrade, go to someone, crouch, put a grenade in their pocket when you find it. Kill 300 people, kill 300 creatures, easy. Get a home run and get a touchdown. It's necessarily getting a home run is when you're in Diamond City. There's 3 platforms in there that you necessarily just they make the 3 bases home, first, second, and third. Just run from home the second, the third, and fourth. Believe you have to do it, relatively fast. For the trophy to count. Touchdown. Touchdown. For me, it was glitched. I actually did have to look it up for me on how to get it. But they're not all dolls. These are, you have to collect all of them. There are 20 of them, so you definitely have to put up a guide to definitely get all of them, because 2 of them are blocked by quest, and you'll need to complete quests to necessarily get them unlocked. Born Survivor, Commonwealth, Unstoppable, Rise of Legend, just level up. Decide the fate of the Commonwealth when you complete any of the endings, because there are 3, one for if you pick the Institution, one for Brotherhood, and one for the Railroad. They will definitely get their own endings. When you get any one of those endings, you'll get this trophy of preparing for the future, and that necessarily would be all your trophies for Fallout 4. It will necessarily get you and grant you this platinum trophy. That's pretty much my review and trophy review on Fallout 4. I do want to apologize for my tiredness. Apologize for it. I do want to thank you for watching. If you did watch, you can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if this helped you in any way, or if you just like hearing me talk about reviews and trophy reviews, or if you just like Fallout 4 in general, or if you just like me talking about Fallout 4 in general. You can definitely look forward for more reviews on more games. I definitely will try to dish these out a little bit faster, so you're not necessarily waiting for a while. That's why I necessarily added my first impressions videos, so you can go ahead and get my little small taste of my small sample of the game, so just so you know my opinion on it, in case you're using that to help you buy the game or not. Outside that, once again, thank you for watching, and ADemonic out.